What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Flight Control Podcast. I am your host, Oddball, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host, Lokke. What's up, dude?
What's up? How you?
I've been doing pretty good, man. It's cold over here. It's only going to get colder, too. Um, yeah,
Oh yeah.
so that's fun. Um, Not exciting episode today, but before that, we can just chit chat, get updated on anything. There's not much news in terms of Star Wars. Skeleton Crew wrapped. Obviously, you haven't watched that yet,
Oh, did
but
you enjoy it?
it was pretty good actually. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't think it was amazing, and it's definitely kind of like a weird timing for a show like Skeleton Crew to come out for the Star Wars community, because right now it's just kind of like, I don't know, the viewership's really low, the engagement's really low. People just aren't really feeling that. I mean, that goes also
Right.
for like Marvel stuff too. People just aren't really engaging that much in that. And, it could be like an oversaturation thing. It could be just people are unhappy with the state of Star Wars, things like that. So Skeleton Crew got really bad viewership,
Really?
lower than the Acolyte. Yeah. And
Lower
the
than the
Acolyte,
Acolyte, then.
yeah. The Acolyte also had the lowest viewership of any live action show, so now Skeleton Crew holds that. And it's not even that
Dang.
Skeleton Crew was bad, it's just kind of like a weird show. Like some people are like not quite sure it feels like Star Wars. Other people say they don't really like
Right.
that Amblin style, like Stranger Things Goonies thing that it has going
Oh.
on for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So yeah.
Spoiler free. Like, what can you say it's about? Like,
Spoiler free, it's about I'd say it's like a Treasure Planet story, and so there's like pirates. Um,
okay.
there's kids. There's four kids, and I think they were trying to go for like that Steven Spielberg or Stranger Things thing, like I said before, kind of feeling of like kids going on an adventure and everything like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's like these kids. They're on a. It's like a reverse Treasure Planet, and yeah, so that's as much as I want to say without like spoiling anything. Um, there's Jude Law in it. He plays a really good character. I like, and yeah, there's just a lot of good pirate stuff in there. There's some
Yeah.
X-wings and just adventure,
That sounds
and
pretty fun.
yeah, it's
I mean,
definitely enjoyable. It's fun. I had a good time watching that.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know that the haters for those kinds of shows like Stranger Things and stuff. It's like it's kind of pointless. Like, if you don't want to, you don't have to hate on it. You just don't watch it.
yeah.
I don't mind it
A
at
lot of
all.
people, I feel like you were saying, have trouble with like kids acting, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know about you. It doesn't really bother me. The only time I was like kind of thrown off by a child's acting was in Acolyte, because I just felt like, yeah, that was rough. I don't know. You'll have to know. I don't
Yeah.
know if we'll cover that if we'll watch it. If people want us to, I
I'd
mean, I
have to
guess
experience,
maybe.
man. I'd have to
Oh,
experience it.
it's so rough. Yeah,
It'll
if
have
you
to be.
like the Acolyte, it's no shade to you. That's totally fine. There's stuff that I don't like that other people do, and that's totally fine. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad for liking it,
But in reality,
but
feel
in
bad.
reality, it's
I was kidding.
it's objectively bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
So
fair. I mean,
yeah.
those.
What have you been up to? Any games or anything?
Oh, dude, I've been. I just been playing classic games like World of Warcraft.
Nice.
Crazy. I hadn't played that game in 10 years, and decided to come back and just start playing it a little bit, and it's been really fun. Been really
Yeah.
fun.
I was thinking about joining you guys, because I know that you've been playing with our other two brothers.
Yeah.
Our oldest brother, Yoslo, who I did a podcast with called Unknown Regions or Unknown Theories. Um, he's a big WoW player, and yeah, he's been leading you guys right through hardcore.
hmm Well, I mean, I've actually just been playing kind of solo, and I'll play. We we haven't really got to play much together. I'd say just for a bit. He made a character to level with me for a little bit, but then that character ended up. I played solo, and I ended up dying as him. His name was
No.
Morelo. and since
No.
this is hardcore, it's just one life and you're done. So a lot of time put into that guy. Uh, but
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's like that adventure experience that I strive for with like D&D and just like watching Lord of the Rings. It's just so good, that
Yeah.
adventure.
I don't know if people know you're a big D&D player.
Oh yeah, massive D&D player. I'm a huge nerd. I I got my own world that I made from scratch, homebrew, and have my friends play in it. Then I also play in a couple other people's games that they made their own homebrew world. So it's a lot of good,
Different campaigns and everything like that.
yeah, a lot of good creativity going on.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I love world building, that aspect of that. And as like we've talked about before, um, I'm writing some books in a universe that I've created, so that's pretty exciting. I feel like we all like that. And then to go back to the adventure of World of Warcraft, playing WoW is like how I imagine D&D as like a video game. Like I don't think it's been replicated quite as good as World of Warcraft. Like there's just like not a lot of MMORPGs that are quite as good as WoW. Like WoW's the only one that's really survived as long as it has, you know.
Yeah, for a reason, for sure. It's just such an expansive world, and to come out 2004 is like, holy, that
Yeah, I
is like
know.
a feat, you know. And actually, funny enough, not to get too off on a side tangent, but I just downloaded Warcraft 3,
Oh,
so
sick.
I'm gonna try playing that again.
Did you get the remastered one?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. Yeah, I downloaded that as well.
Oh, dude, we gotta play.
Yeah, we should. That'd be
Okay.
fun. I love RTS games like Age of
Yeah,
Empires and stuff.
yeah. My RTS that I've always played was Halo, Halo Wars.
Halo Wars is so good.
So good.
Underrated game.
Did you play two?
Both of them.
Halo Wars 2?
I did not play two. I played one.
What the? Oh man.
I've
Okay.
seen all the shorts and or
Oh, the
cinematics.
cutscenes? Yeah.
Yeah, the cutscenes and
Cutscenes are
stuff.
like so good. It's like a movie.
Insane. They're beautiful. The two brutes that fought off the flood.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
yeah.
after they like killed all of them and they're just like steaming with like the guts of the flood and they open their helmets.
Brutes are so, man, the aliens in that, oh,
Dude,
I
that's
respect
another
them.
universe that's just awesome is Halo. And
Yeah.
it's been unjustly done by Hollywood, just like Star Wars and a lot of other things.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I'd
true.
say the only thing that's untouched, that's like a giant universe that's not like Star Wars has been touched by Hollywood and like damaged. Lord of the Rings has been touched by Hollywood and damaged. Halo's been touched by Hollywood and damaged. I'd say Warhammer 40K is the only one that is. It's starting to go into Hollywood now,
But it's in the
but
hands of a
it's
great,
in the hands of Henry Cavill. So
yeah.
there's hope there because he is a lore perfectionist and a stickler about things. So that's my if that gets ruined, that's my last straw. But I mean, from what we
True.
saw on Secret Level, you watched that episode.
Dude.
That
Yeah,
was
fantastic.
amazing.
Fantastic. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Secret Level, I advise people to watch that. Like, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's so if you don't know anything about Warhammer 40K and you want to like start getting into it, just watch that. Um yeah, just watch that episode. It'll just give you the exact vibe and feeling of Warhammer 40K without you even like understanding exactly what's happening.
Hmm.
It kind of just shows you what it's like in that universe, 40,000 years
Yeah.
in the future. So good. And
Yeah.
yeah, our older brother definitely showed us Warhammer, so
Oh,
thanks,
yeah.
bro.
Dude, I gotta say, we talking a lot about other universes. It'd be fun to do like a designated episode to talk about, like worlds and stuff. Like maybe my homebrew
Yeah.
world and maybe the one that you're working on, and it's a little bit
Hmm.
about that.
That would be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool like maybe a bonus episode
Yeah.
for people if they want maybe something other than this within this season. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we can do that at the end of uh maybe when we get to episode 10, we can do a bonus episode, not like in episode 11, but like a bonus
That would
episode
be
and we can
sick.
just talk about you know,
About
we
the whole
can do
universe.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. talk about
if
it more.
if you're interested in that, audience, let us know in the comments, and you know, comment that you wanna have some bonus episodes or things like that. We can do deep dives on other universes, characters in Star Wars, things like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot
yeah.
to explore there.
There's a
I'm
lot, man.
ready to dive into these eps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get into this. So we're doing the Hunt for the Malevolence. That's episode 2, 3, and 4 of season 1, and by golly, it's a pretty awesome story arc. And a lot of people dog on season 1 of the Clone Wars, but I think season 1 has a lot of gems in it that people forget about. So yeah, this is the Republic hunting down a secret separatist superweapon, and it's been like leaving no survivors, destroying Republic convoys and fleets and stuff. And so the Jedi are on the hunt, and yeah, kind of lead us into episode 1. What did you think of, or not episode 1, but episode 2, where we see
Yeah,
Plo Koon and
episode
his
one of like this little arc.
this little arc? Yeah.
The rising malevolence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, the malevolence is just talk about it real quick. That is such a grand ship. So, is that the only one, or is there more around?
Yeah, so that's a subjugator class heavy cruiser, is what its actual model name is. And there's multiple built. Like I think there's around 5, maybe more, maybe less. A lot of them are hidden, and we only see the Malevolence. They're very costly to make these, obviously, considering how big it
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take too much to operate them, considering a lot of it's automated. The droids basically run the whole ship. I mean, you'll see in one of the episodes that the trams, the trolleys inside the Malevolence to get from one side to another, they're all droids and everything. They have like little eyes on them. So yeah, this is the only one that I know of that has the ion cannon, which is the big issue that the Republic's
Mhm.
facing.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think of that opening shot of the Venators coming on the Malevolence and that red like gas planet?
Oh yeah. So it starts out what in the I call it the avocado system.
Yeah, the avocado system.
'Cause, yeah, I kept hearing it. I'm like, wait, how do you say it? But
Avocado? I
yeah,
think. I don't, yeah, something.
yeah, abrigado or
Abrigado, yeah.
yeah, something. But yeah, the crazy power the ion weapon is that's such a just a like battle just shutting down. Like you can't do much
Hmm.
against that. Such a wide like area too.
Oh, it's
Like
huge. It's just a giant disc. And it's got like insane range too, because like
right.
what the Republic cruisers, like the Jedi cruisers, the Venators, they weren't even within range yet of attacking the subjugator when they got hit by it, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, the was it the first scene that it had it? It was like that little clone like medical like supply ship. Wasn't or am
Is
I
that
mixing up?
that
I'm
might
trying
be
to
a
remember the like the first scene with it. I can't.
that could be it. That could be also like episode 2 maybe. I don't know. I feel like episode 1 Rising Malevolence like opened with Plo Koon and his strike fleet,
Right. Oh,
right?
oh
Didn't it?
yeah. Yeah, it did. I think.
And then maybe episode 2
Right.
like showed,
Weren't
I
they?
don't know.
Yeah. I
The
can't.
thing is like these episodes kind of blur together because they're the same story, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Definitely. I was just getting a little mixed up. So yeah. I have a Grievous evil laugh. You know, his classic evil
Yep,
laugh
yep.
after he sees it work. He's like, "Yes." Dooku's saying, "I want all those life pods destroyed."
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
No
So evil.
survivors, dude. No one needs to know about this super weapon. It's kind of a mystery.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then it goes over to like Ahsoka, uh, being Ahsoka and Anakin are like talking to the was it to the higher ups and whatever, and she's like,
Oh
"We
yeah.
gotta go save him. We gotta go save him," because I think she knows Plo Koon. Some like
Yeah, so their relationship is pretty I wouldn't say parental, but Plo Koon's the one that kind of discovered her
Oh,
and
right. It said
brought her
that.
to
Yeah.
the Jedi Temple. So
Yeah.
they kind of have a bit of a relationship. She really looks up to him and everything like that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's why she's kind of being bold in front of her master and stuff,
hmm
and Anakin's trying to teach her, and he's been getting all pissed. He's like, "Dang it, Ahsoka, come on!"
Oh yeah, no. Which is funny because like she learned from him to disagree
Ex-
with the council.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then ends up doing exactly what she said, but just Anakin's like, "You didn't say it in the right way. That's the problem."
Yeah,
And
you didn't just sneak off to do it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
uh,
the whole thing.
and then it goes to the clones and Plo Koon, and the clones are just joking around, and the Plo Koon like just instantly goes into the wise mode, and starts saying some wise crap, and I love it.
Dude,
Uh,
yeah, he's great.
classic Jedi. And he's like, "We are not alone out here."
We are not alone out here. Yeah, it's his voice is fantastic. His whole character design is awesome.
Right,
Uh, and he's a fan favorite of the Clone Wars as well. I'd say other than like the main Jedi like Obi-Wan, Anakin, um, Ahsoka, Mace Windu, and Yoda, even
right,
throwing Count Dooku in there, Qui-Gon and stuff. I'd say like the Jedi of the Republic time, uh, Plo Koon and Kit Fisto are like fan favorites of like kind
right.
of the not so popular Jedi.
What kind of species is he?
I think Keldor is
Keldor.
Keldor. Dave Filoni, the head, like the guy that's kind of like produced the Clone Wars. His one of his favorite characters is not Kit Fisto, Plo Koon.
Plo Koon. Yeah.
Yeah, him
I
and
mean,
his friend just dressed up like them for one of the Star Wars movies. I can't remember if it was Revenge of the Sith or something, but yeah,
oh, that's pretty awesome.
yeah,
I respect that. Yeah, for good reason. Having Plo Koon as your favorite character makes sense.
he's
Um,
awesome.
and then yeah, I have it written down that Anakin's being cool for going after the survivors. Kind of disobeying a little bit, and
Yeah,
but dude, oh my gosh, man, I just got like exist no I just got like some like dread feelings seeing that horrifying life pod capture like
dude, right?
that's crazy because if you think about it, dude, in space and that droid like they capture you and then they just open up the hatch and
Yeah,
you're just
they don't blast you or anything.
no,
They just open you to space.
yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap, dude, what a horrifying thing. Like, oh man,
And there's
I don't
nothing
like
you can
it.
do. Like you're just in your escape pod, just sitting there as this thing like locks onto you.
Yeah, it's like we're
Yeah.
being oh, man,
You know,
poor clones.
there's kind of like a levity to Clone Wars. You know, they try to provide some humor with the B-ones and everything. But if you actually like think of like if they did like a more serious version of the Clone Wars, like a Band of Brothers type movie or show, like
Yeah,
the droids are terrifying. These like
dude,
cold, like mechanical, like
just gunning them
killer
down.
robots
Yeah.
that are just unfeeling. You can't reason with them. They're just programmed. They follow their orders to the T. They don't question them or anything.
Hmm.
You're just fighting against something like that is
Ruthless.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. No freaking thanks, dude. That war, yeah, it definitely gets like changed from a viewer perspective because of all the little hints of humor. But if you look at it from like a practical sense, yeah, it's a horrifying war.
Yeah. And you kind of get a little bit of that from Mando Din Djarin as a child, seeing
Oh
the
yeah,
B2 super battle droids just slaughtering everybody. And they just
dude.
have their red eyes and everything like that. It's like very Terminator-esque and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's why he
Yeah.
doesn't like any of the he's like no droids. I'm like,
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like droids, except for IG. Is it? It's not. Is it IG-11 or IG-33 or something like that?
it's IG-11, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I actually got a Funko Pop of that dude.
yeah,
Pretty
he's
cool.
great. The only
Yeah.
droid he actually liked.
And also, yeah, exactly.
And then he gets R5, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
The astromech.
Yeah, he finds some good ones. Good
Yeah.
eggs.
But
Uh,
this is not the Mandalorian. This is Clone Wars. So yeah,
oh yeah,
um,
and yeah, sorry. Uh, and then Do you know what that thing's called? The thing that captures like the claw machine?
It's just like a hunter type
Oh,
of
gotcha. Because it
yeah.
reminds me of the like the vulture. Is that vulture droids? Is that what they're called?
Mm. Yeah, it's similar. I'd say it's more of a it's like it's used for, so
Specific.
it's not only used for hunting escape pods like that. It's got multiple functions. It's definitely not something that can travel like between hyperspace, different planets and stuff. It's like a short range type of like assault
Right.
little shuttle thing. They use it to breach the ships as well. You'll see later on in the Clone Wars, they kind of like stab into the hulls of like ships. So you'll see them like they
Oh,
close their pincers and they like
it's like
breach the hole
drill.
and then they
Oh,
open
okay.
up and then like the inside they can just deploy droids and stuff
Dude, that's
from in
actually
there.
kind of sick.
Yeah.
One of the yeah, the droids will just like sit on the legs of it or like the claws of it. And one of the B1 droids were singing was singing the Imperial March. Or
Yeah, that's
they were humming. Yeah.
yeah, they're humming.
I
It's
thought
pretty
that was pretty
funny.
funny.
See, there's that levity that they're
Exactly.
given.
Just to avoid you from what they just did, where the clones just lifelessly float in space. That was
Yeah.
horrible. That was horrible. Okay.
And it's Commander Wolf is in the escape pod. You'll know him later once he gets his armor, but he's like the clone that's in the just like uniform.
Oh yeah.
That's Commander Wolf, and he's like the Captain Rex for Plo Koon. Uh,
Dang.
when he gets his armor, you'll be like, dude, that guy's sick because
Okay.
he's got one of the coolest armors. That's the 104th Battalion. Uh, yeah,
104th.
his
Okay.
armor is sick. Him, Rex, and Gregor. I'm sure you've seen pictures of old Captain Rex.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. He's Wolf is one of the guys that survives with Captain Rex.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll
that's
see him
pretty
in Bad
sick.
Batch too, so that's pretty cool. But
All
that's
right.
a long ways away, and you'll probably forget it by then. Yeah,
No, it'll spark a memory, dude, for
yeah,
sure. So yeah, Plo Koon getting serious. He says like, "Get your armor on, dude. We're going out there." It's
oh
like,
yeah,
oh gosh, because like one wrong movement and you can't can't mess with space.
oh yeah. You
Uh,
get shot once, like in your suit, you're breached.
yep, you're
Yeah,
done. B1 droid's like, oh, what's a Jedi doing out here?
yeah. It's
Oh
pretty
man,
cool that he can survive in the pressure, the negative pressure of
yeah,
space, or the
the
non-pressure of
Keldor.
space, or whatever.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. Because yeah, I was
Hmm.
always curious about that. It's like, is his race just like designed
I think
to
his
compete?
body's just capable of withstanding it for a time, and his
Right,
mask helps him breathe. So,
right, right. You could
mhm.
also could you potentially like use the Force too, just like keep the pressure off.
They've used it before in like books and stuff like that to create like a bubble around your body.
Yeah,
Yeah, it takes extreme concentration. Like they've done it in some old Republic novels that I know of. I think maybe Luke Skywalker did in a book that I read. I don't know if it was during the Thrawn trilogy or if it was afterwards.
right.
But yeah, you can kind of like force project a bubble around you, but it's really hard. Like, and it takes complete like focus to do so.
Okay.
And you only have the limited air that's within the force bubble, so you can't do it for long.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty hard move then.
Hmm.
Plo Koon does this crazy cool move where he like throws the clone with the Force,
Oh
and like
yeah,
he pulls
sick.
him, and the clone's just like eat laser clankers.
Yeah, suck laser.
uh, and then
Yeah,
Ahsoka sensing Plo Koon. Like I said, talked in our I think our first episode podcast episode. I love the sensing ability of just like being able to sense people. I think
yeah,
it's just so simple but elegant.
yeah. It's pretty cool. And especially like because she has a deeper connection to Plo Koon, so she
Exactly.
can sense him amidst everything, more so than even Anakin. Like Anakin, obviously,
He was ready to leave.
maybe if he meditated long enough, he could do it. Like he could find him, or if he like focused. But like just because she has that connection to Plo Koon, it's just even that much stronger. You know,
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
cool.
So then they find him and they get him back on the ship and stuff. It's pretty cool, like reunion. But then the clones have this moment where it's like, "We're just clones, sir. We're meant to be expendable," and he's like,
Oh
"Not to
yeah.
me." Classic.
Not to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Plo
exactly.
Koon really cares about his men, and similar to Anakin with the 501st.
As you should. As you
Yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah. You'll find that not every Jedi Master shares those sentiments with
No.
the clones.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah,
Oh
you'll find
no.
that later. This is in later seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have to like quickly shut down the ship. Smart thinking on Plo Koon's part to avoid detection.
Oh yeah.
And then one stupid medic droid walks up. It's like,
Is
"How
there?
can I help?"
Yeah. What seems to be the problem,
Yep. And
dude?
yeah,
And then yeah, their sensors pick them up, and yeah, just seeing the malevolence turn around, you're like, oh crap,
oh no,
go
yeah.
go 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 go.
They luckily get out of the way. And
Hmm.
then Anakin, wholesome moment, brings Ahsoka into the meeting to report the mission. Pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
No,
That
yeah,
closes out that episode. Pretty
yeah, and
well.
then the I think you were mentioning something about the freighter that Anakin was using, the Twilight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we see that throughout these the story arc. It's a pretty cool freighter,
Right.
and
They
you'll see it throughout the Clone Wars too.
right. I mean, I
Was
remember
that?
seeing.
Oh, continue.
Um, wait. So when did they get it again?
Yeah, I was gonna say during the Clone Wars movie is when they acquired it, and it was kind of like a beat up
Oh yeah, that's
junker.
right. They flew those bugs across the like yeah, that's right. Across the
Yeah,
temple.
to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it Anakin definitely puts some touches on it and fixes it up, makes it that much better. And yeah, I think it's a cool design. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. It kind of looks like a freighter mixed with like a B-wing starfighter because it's got that long wing on it, and then it
Right.
also like opens up. So that's pretty cool.
Which I gotta say, I think its size is like deceiving. Yeah, I think it's a lot bigger than
Dude,
I.
yeah.
Yeah.
When they bring the escape pod in there, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's got a little cargo bay in the
Yeah.
back. That's pretty cool. It's a
Definitely in this show, they could be a little deceiving by the size of things because it's kind
yeah.
of hard to portray, but it still does pretty well. Still does pretty well
That
for sure.
that's why when you see the Malevolence next to like a Venator and stuff blowing it up with its lasers, you're like,
Dude,
oh, it's huge. It's like
it's massive.
5 times the size of a Venator. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on episode 3, The Shadow of Malevolence.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
I'm not getting tired of the announcer dude. I love him.
Dude, yeah, he's great.
And then actually in this episode, it goes right. So it goes from him announcing directly to his character speaking, and it's so cool.
Admiral Yularen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a pretty good his voice is iconic.
yeah. Okay, so this is what I was thinking of from earlier. The ship caught by the ion cannon right before jumping. It was this
Yeah.
like clone like medic ship,
It's the
and
medical frigate, yeah.
yeah, and then they're like, dude, we gotta go quick, and they go for the rescue mission, and Plo Koon's like, I'm coming with. It's pretty cool.
Dude, yeah. Do you like the squadron, like all
Dude,
the
Shadow
pilots?
Squadron?
Shadow
Yes,
Squadron.
dude. So
I have a
cool,
video on
man.
them, so you'll have to
I
check it
admit,
out.
yeah. I should probably, dude, yeah, it would probably help a lot of my, answer a lot of my questions going back watching your vids.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some of them you can watch that are, related to the Clone Wars. Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't plug all of them because
Why
if you
not,
watch
dude?
this channel, I'm sure you've seen them, or maybe you're just a podcaster. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they weren't using like radar or something, but there's like, you gotta fly with the force, is what Plo Koon said. You gotta focus.
Oh, yeah. When they went into the nebula,
Right, the nebula, yeah.
the
And then
Balmora Run.
and then when Anakin said the Balmora run, Plo Koon's like, what?
It's an old smuggler's route.
Yeah. It's
The
super
giant
cool.
Nibre Manta. It's
Oh
a
man,
huge.
oh yeah, before I get there, I just want to say one thing. Broadside, I think he's my fave of the squadron. And
Yeah.
I like where he's like, I know where I'm going. I don't need a radar. And the other clone's like, where? He's like, to blow up that battleship. Yeah, let's go.
What about Matchstick? Do you like? He's got a cool helmet design.
Yeah, Matchstick is cool,
He's
and
got
I
the
think their
shark
name
teeth.
is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Or
Unfortunate what
was
happens to him, but
was, but
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. The what are they called? The giant nebula rays or something?
The Nibre Manta or something like that.
Libre, Libre
Yeah.
mantis. Yeah, those things are massive.
They're huge.
If
Yeah,
they
they're
were
like
like,
just giant whale looking things.
yeah, I know. I was like, if they're aggressive, dude, that would change the game. And
Yeah.
the whole thing, they didn't want to like alert them or like freak them out because then they probably would just fly like smack around and
Start all
stuff.
panicking, like moving really fast, different directions.
Yeah.
They'd be
Speaking of
cooked too.
Matchstick, he got hit by one, a little scrape.
Stabilizer.
Yeah. It's like, my stabilizer's gone out. He's good, though. He's
Uh,
good. He's safe for now.
I think I have it under control.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
well,
my gosh.
not quite, sir. Bro, I was gonna ask you, what did you think of the Y Wings, the different Clone Wars design?
I enjoyed it. It was I just like the just simpleness of it, but it's such a like a classic ship where I'm like, yeah, dude, it's pretty sick flying machine.
Flying machine. You sound like an old timer. Hey,
Oh
look at
no.
that flying machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sick. It's the BTLB Y-wing bomber, and it's got all the paneling on it. Instead of the ion turret that the Rebel ones has, it has an actual like man turret in there.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
It's
Clone
pretty
Wars.
yeah.
I was gonna say the Republic kind of uses a lot of manpower, a lot of clones in their different roles. Like the Arc 170 starfighter has like three different clones in it.
Heck
It's
yeah.
two pilots and a gunner, and then this has a gunner and a pilot. So a lot of manpower used on these.
Yeah. The more the merrier, dude. I gotta say, I think yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's okay, so a little off topic, but kind of same thing. I was playing this game called Murky Divers. It's where
Murky
it's kind of like
divers.
Lethal Company, but you operate a submarine to travel
Oh, that's
around.
sick.
And operating it, dude, you need like actual like somebody has to be on the sonar, someone has to be on the throttle, someone has to be on the steering, and
Jeez.
it's actually super difficult. And so if I was flying a spaceship or flying machine, uh, I gotta say I would want as much people there, dude. I do not want to do it myself. I know they got a lot of
Yeah,
automation and stuff, but still.
for sure. But it also just results in more casualties when they lose a starfighter, which is like
Don't
the
say it like
downside
that.
of it. Because, clones take
Yeah,
a while. They're not like droids. You can't just like pop them out.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But they're 10 times better. How much
10 times better.
how much would you say is one clone compared to B1 droids? Just
To
personal.
B1s?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like a B1, like a squad of B1s could probably easily overwhelm a standard clone trooper.
I mean, but like worth. Like it's not exactly like a one-on-one battle, but say
Like a
say like
worth?
worth like
Yeah, I'd say
to the cause.
just like a reg, like a regular shiny trooper.
Yeah.
That's tough. I'd say probably like 10 B1 battle droids.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 1 odds,
Pretty
something
good.
like that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely worth it. They're cooler
And then
for
like
sure.
clones like Captain Rex, you're gonna like
Oh
double
man.
that, if not like quadruple it. Then there's
Yeah.
like ARC troopers that are even like worth more, and then there's like, yeah,
Oh yeah. There's a lot of
it's
different
insane.
facets to it. It's a very, very simple question that leads to a lot more questions.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like that's the thing. That's what's so cool about clones is like they're not all the same. They don't all have the same skill sets. Like most of them are just like the regular infantry clone trooper. Then you got your pilots and stuff. But a lot of them are like very specialized, and some are just more experienced than others. Like Captain Rex says in the Clone Wars movie, experience outranks everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But what
It's
were we
true,
talking
man.
about? Y
It's
wings.
definitely yeah, and so yeah, Matchstick got hit, going through the Balmora run where the gigantic rays are. Those things,
Oh yeah.
awesome. I gotta say, in any like game or like like show or whatever, just the gigantic like view of it, or like just the
The
mass,
scale.
the scales. The scale is the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me in shows and stuff.
Dude,
Like I
I
just
love
love it.
it. with
Favorite game is
monsters
like,
and stuff. Yeah.
dude. Yeah, you got to play Shadow of the Colossus, man. That game is
Oh,
so
I've heard of that game. Yeah.
yeah. The game is awesome, man. One of my faves. But yeah, it's so cool. So I love seeing those. And then yeah, so Malevolence, dude. I mean, earns its name going after the poor clone, or like
Dude,
the
yeah. A medical
yeah
station?
medical
Are you
station.
kidding me?
Like frick you, dude. And then
Yeah.
and then they have to like help out and stuff, and Anakin takes him into dangerous territory flying, and
Yeah.
poor Matchstick
Dude, he
and
couldn't do it.
Tag.
And he took someone out. Yeah, he took Tag out with him
Yeah, poor.
because
Oh, dude.
he's like, watch out, and then fell right into him.
Dude, oh, man, just
Oh,
I just put myself in the shoes of like Anakin, being the commanding. Like he knows, like Ahsoka says it up front to him, but he already knows that he's taking them, and like you got to be really good at flying to be able to follow him.
yeah.
And he needs to do it like that, and just to hear the comms go out, like that must hurt so bad.
Oh yeah. And then to just like know like you're losing your men.
Yeah.
And then one thing like and it's not even just like Matchstick and Tag. There's other Y wings that are just caught in the blast and just like dead in the water. They're just floating there.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I mean they might not be dead, but they could be their life support could be failed, and so they might
Oh,
just start suffocating.
oh jeez.
Depending on how their air supply and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a few hours, but let's hope they
But
get
yeah,
rescued.
Shadow Squadron just dropping like flies, man.
Dude.
But even still, B1 battle droid is in the ship with Grievous. Is like, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah,
Classic.
there's the catchphrase of Star Wars.
Yep. And then yeah, they were able to like make a malfunction on the ion cannon when they tried using it again,
Yeah,
and it was a pretty rad sound effect when it went offline. It was like a
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That was sick, and just the shockwave of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hit
so,
him with the proton torpedoes. I thought one scene that
oh
I liked
yeah,
a lot was just like all the flat cannons, like just the lasers as they're like diving in and like
oh
coming
yeah,
in.
dude, yeah, the dog fights and just like flying around like that is just so, man, they do it right. I love it.
Yeah, they do a good job in the
Yeah.
Clone Wars for sure.
You said that they were using proton torpedoes.
Yep, that's what those little
What a cool name.
violet missiles were.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love those.
epic, dude. They do big damage. They big damage.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's basically it. They saved the medical base. It's freaking
dude. Yeah,
crazy.
and then Obi-Wan shows up, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They show up and
Boom,
they're
shows
ready.
up in his fleet's ready.
Perfect lead into episode 4. Destroy Malevolence.
Dude, what's crazy about like those the Venators attacking the Malevolence, their weapons are just like they
Puny.
can't
Yeah.
keep up. They're like barely out of range and like just not doing any damage to the
Yeah.
Malevolence because it's so massive.
Yeah, but that's one of the clones says that. He's just like, we are shooting it, but it's taking all of our guns, dude, and it's still
Yeah,
not doing anything.
it's still not doing anything. They're
Yeah.
just unloading into it as it like limps away, because
Yeah.
it's crippled and everything. Yeah, it's pretty intense. I would say last episode I forgot to mention the one where Anakin's leading that squad. It's kind of a lot of you'll see a lot of the times with his leading sometimes he expects or like he has trouble seeing the limitations of others because of his talent and ability,
Right.
and so it costs, it can sometimes cost people, but that's what that episode was kind of teaching him is
Yeah.
that he can fly through all that laser fire, he can get to General Grievous's command bridge and blow it up, but he's going to lose his whole squad.
Yeah.
And Plo
And
Koon also, I forgot to mention, he's like one of the best Jedi starfighters.
oh, really?
He's like right below Anakin. um,
Oh,
he's one of the best pilots.
that's really cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
Ahsoka even said up front to Anakin, was just like, they can't follow you. You can do this, but they can't follow you.
Yep,
And it's like,
exactly.
oh, Dude, he was so depressed after that when walking back on the base. Like, oh wait,
dude.
yeah, he was in the hangar bay and he just looked out in the stars. And, yeah, he was
Oh yeah.
definitely crying, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you also got to think about how young he is when the Clone Wars starts. He's like 19.
Oh, dude.
He's extremely young still.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 19. I don't think I could fight and lead a squadron like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I was in the military. So,
Yeah, I think I could, but let's just leave
okay.
it
Yeah, sure. All right, here we go.
man.
But yeah, destroy the Malevolence. We're on that episode now.
Yep. So starts off, Grievous is like peeing his pants, looking around. He doesn't know what to do. But he still is confident. He's like, oh, they won't get us to Dooku. But Dooku's like, don't worry. I got a present coming in hyperspace.
Yeah, a present from
Yep.
the Darth Sidious.
Yep.
Again, he's playing chess. He's playing both sides.
He's just having a good time.
Dude, he's oh man. It's like that Disney Pixar like short film of that guy playing chess with himself.
Yeah, dude. Oh
He
my
keeps like going
God.
back and forth to each side.
That's right. That old
That's literally Palpatine. That's in the entire Clone Wars.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, so yeah, Padme gets brought in for this, and
Yep.
Anakin is like, "What?" Like when he saw her on the hologram, and then
Yeah, and they're like,
classic,
ceasefire.
classic tractor beam. Love that. That's just such a good ability.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
and then
something that it can sometimes be a little bit of a plot hole in a lot of like Star Wars projects. You're like, wait a minute, what about tractor beams? Couldn't you just grab the ship out of space?
oh
So
yeah,
it's a little tricky.
I wonder
There's
the
also
certain
like
conditions
it's
that you
also
would
like hard to grab them sometimes too, because like it's a
right.
beam. Like you're specific. It's not just like this huge field that you're
Hmm.
able to grab from. So it takes like specific targeting computers or skills to lock onto it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of ship is she? She's like that new Naboo ship. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. That's actually what I did a video on all of the the Naboo cruisers, like all the different ones that she uses throughout like Star Wars. That's one of my most popular videos,
No, really.
for whatever reason. Yeah, I can't exactly remember the name of it, but it's because she's a senator. She's able to borrow one of the royal Naboo yachts, like space yachts, and
Nice.
so that's what the chromium is, that metallic color.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
the
like it.
plating or whatever. That is a sign of like Naboo royalty. So like the royal house
Heck
uses
yeah.
that and everything.
Showing
That's
off
why the
royal.
N1 starfighters, they have chromium underneath. They're like yellow, but then they have chromium underneath there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty
And
sick.
it does have some defensive capabilities too. Like it can like kind of mess with targeting computers and stuff like that.
Oh,
It
like
is a little
reflection.
more
Yeah.
good at reflecting laser fire too.
Hmm. Well, I
But
think
it's expensive.
we should have the link into the description of that video just so people can figure out the name of it.
Yeah, I can add cards throughout the video. But
Oh,
yeah,
right. Cards too.
yeah,
That works.
yeah. So they pop up at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you'll have to go to the YouTube channel and check it
For
out. But yeah, it's one of my most popular videos. There is one ship that I left out of it and forgot to
oh,
have in
gotcha.
there,
There's so many,
which
man.
is
So it's fine.
yeah, there's a lot.
So Padme's in the hangar bay, and she pretty smartly self destructs the ship. So goodbye, chromium.
Yeah,
Uh,
goodbye, little
but
boat.
almost actually gets like Grievous and definitely gets a few droids, but like they were about to go in and check and blew it
Dude,
up.
yeah. I like how Grievous is like out of my way. He's like,
Dude, he
the
I
droids are like, wait, what? Why is he leaving?
I gotta say I love him, man. He's such
uh,
a iconic character. Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask like what species is he?
I don't remember the name of the species,
Dang.
but he's got a different story in Legends versus what you'll see in Clone Wars, because you'll kind of see like his origins and what he used to look like in one of the episodes. It's a pretty cool
Hmm.
episode. You'll like it. But in Legends, his race was pretty heavily subjugated, and he kind of led a rebellion to free his race, and yeah, basically, He became like this warlord of like his planet and everything like that. Eventually, Count Dooku, and Sidious are like, "Hey, let's experiment with cybernetics on this guy and like use him as like one of our generals and stuff." And
Ooh.
so they like injure him in this like crash. They like sabotage his starship and he
Oh, dude.
crashes and he's barely alive. They like reconstruct his mind and everything so he doesn't have his like memories of old. And
No.
yeah, he's a pretty
You're making me
tragic
feel bad.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like his legends too. So I don't know necessarily if that's the same as Clone Wars, because in Clone Wars you'll find out that
Guess
he
we'll
kind
see.
of just he's just trying to improve himself with
Right.
cybernetics, whereas like it was unintentional
But
in
obviously it's not helping.
Legends.
Got a big old cough.
Yeah. Well, I mean that happened because of Mace Windu.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's also I don't know if that's exactly Legends, but in the 2D animated Clone Wars, which we will watch after this, um, there's a fight, and Mace Windu like force crushes his rib cage,
Oh,
and like
dude.
yeah, and he's like almost killed by that.
Right.
It's pretty epic. So
That is a crazy thing to
leaves
do.
leaves him with a lingering cough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mace
Uh,
Windu doesn't give an F.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But yeah,
pretty
also,
violent move for a Jedi.
I know, I was gonna say, like, doesn't that break some codes, man? Like,
It's Mace
just
Windu. He kind of sits on the line a little bit.
purple lightsaber, classic.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Grievous walking with his hands behind his back. I have that written down. I just like it. He's got his full classic.
Just a fan of it.
Yeah, he's got a good walk.
Yeah.
I got one. Yeah, how did Padme rewire a communicator to communicate outside? That's just that to
She's
me is just like whoa.
she's crafty, dude. She's highly educated. She gets herself into a lot of trouble. Like, I think a lot of this is like learned skills and everything. I don't know. When you think of like how young she was like 12 or 13 during the Phantom Menace,
Right.
is like what she's supposed to be. She's like a super young queen and everything. So she's like just grown up, leading you know, leading an army to retake her palace, And as a senator, she gets into a lot of trouble during the Clone Wars. Yeah,
Definitely
maybe a
does.
little unrealistic, but also like I could see her being like educated to do stuff
Right.
like that. I don't know.
It might not be
She's
too hard.
crafty. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and then so then they get on the tram is what you called it?
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan and Anakin sneak on board, or is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't realize we just watched it, but I did not realize that they were
Yep.
droids.
Yeah,
Like
you can kind of see their eyes.
that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the super battle droid comes up and like looks down at them and then shoots his cannon arm. That was a cool sound
Yep.
effect. I loved it.
It's cool because it's like a thung, but it's like you hear like the chee,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah. It's the that's the wrist rocket. Is sometimes you'll hear clones say, "Watch those wrist rockets,"
Oh,
and
really?
that's
Okay.
that's what you're watching out for.
I'll be watchful for that for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then Obi-Wan tries saving C3PO, and then he gets blasted by the train, just
Oh
decked.
yeah. C3PO is always getting like the short end of the stick.
Good man. Oh man. Uh, and
uh,
then Obi is like, I'll go down to the hyperdrive. I'll disable it, and big old trap because they overheard the communicator, and
yeah.
of course they overheard it. Big old ships got to have some ways to break into communication.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean,
and
you should be able to monitor like your inbound communications or
oh
like
yeah,
your inner uh if things are unauthorized.
yeah, yeah, that freaking factory of a ship, so cool.
It's massive. Yeah.
Uh, craziest, uh, or not crazy, coolest scene so far, or fight scene, I gotta say, was Obi-Wan versus Grievous. Like
And all those
throwing,
droids, right?
yeah, yeah, he's just playing he's just bowling with the oh crap,
Droidicas.
the Droidicas, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just rolling them and taking them all out, which is awesome. And then he rolls one at Grievous and he just catches it. Like what a Chad
Dude,
move.
yeah.
And then
Well, I was sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're
what
fine.
what did you think of when General Grievous drops down and you
Oh
hear
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At the start of it, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, he drops down. He's like, "Hello there," but
Yeah, he hits
obviously
Obi-Wan with
mocking.
the hello there.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's pretty funny.
cinema, dude. I love that.
Just cinema. I love the thud too that General Grievous makes when he lands
Oh yeah,
because he's just
yes,
solid.
he's a solid mass, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's crazy strength. Stopping that droideka and then smashing it on the ground,
Yeah.
and
Dude,
then
he's
taking out a
insane.
B1 battle droid just because it snarked at him. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude just
um,
bashes them all the time. He's just
uh,
constantly going through them.
yeah, dude, and yeah, Dooku earlier said he's like, those are expensive. Be
Yeah.
careful. That made me think, dude. What is the budget like for the like? How much are they?
So, I mean, B1s are a lot cheaper than like super battle droids or the BX
Sure.
commandos and droidekas, things like that. And especially like the Magna Guard, like the guys with the staves
Oh yeah,
that guard Dooku and stuff and General
very
Grievous at times. Those are extremely expensive. And we talked about those before.
right.
But I would say a B1 battle droid, like it's not very expensive. Like you can manufacture those like crazy. And the
They have
thing
like
is,
millions.
the
Yeah.
Separatists have a lot of funding from like the Trade Federation. They have a lot of money. The Trade Federation does. So,
Uh-huh.
and they also have backing through the banking clan. So they
Right.
and the Techno Union, they have their droids and stuff. So they got a lot of money on the Separatist side.
I
They
never.
can, and droids are cheaper than clones. So I mean, they could just
Oh yeah.
crank them out.
I never really thought about it, but just the financial situation of Star Wars must be insane.
And we'll
Like,
get into a little bit of it
yeah.
in the Clone Wars. They go to uh, the Mune planet where the banking clan like has their basically it's the bank that the entire galaxy goes to for like
Okay.
credits and stuff and like loans and things like that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty crazy.
It'll be fun to learn more about that because I just think in like all the different currencies and then all the different like, oh, it's just it must be heavy.
Crazy, yeah, and expensive.
But so in the R2D2 regroups with C3PO, pretty cool.
Yeah, the homies.
Yep, classic duo.
Yeah,
And then Anakin and Padme go up to the bridge, and there's a quote where Anakin's just like, "I'm taking apart droids instead of putting them together,"
yeah.
or is it
Because
Padme? It's like,
Padme is like, you're always playing with droids, and he's like, yeah, I used to build them, now I destroy them, basically.
that's so true. I was curious. Do we know like any other droids that he's made, or is it only? Uh,
It's only C-3PO. He's
okay,
worked obviously on R2D2, just maintenance and stuff, but he's only completely created one droid, and that's C-3PO.
gotcha. Which
Yeah,
freaking crazy that he did that.
yeah. Made a whole protocol droid as as like
A
a
child.
slave, a
Yeah,
child slave on Tatooine. It's
yeah.
insane. Yeah.
And then it goes back to Grievous dueling Obi. Like, what a scary duelist to be! Just like the strength of his blows, just smashing down, and
Oh
oof,
yeah. Well, like you see him just like barreling through the
the
crates and
boxes.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's like, "Oh crap, I gotta
he's like,
go."
and
Yeah,
easily he gets out of there and then regroups, and then you see Anakin, and them in like the elevator getting ready to leave or whatever, and he looks at C3PO and he's like, "Don't just stand around, do something." Like I love.
yeah,
It's so funny. It's all he ever does, though.
yeah. C-3PO is always just looking there.
Yeah, and
He's
then
just taking up space.
right, he honestly does, but he's good
Yeah,
for communication and stuff. But
he's good for he's essential. He's essential to Star Wars and the team, and
I
don't
gotta
let
say
anyone
though,
say otherwise.
I gotta say, crazy take that I'm about to put out there. Jar Jar Binks better than C3PO.
Oh, interesting. That's a hot take.
Yeah,
Let us know if that's a hot take, everybody. Locke likes
give some
Jar
people
Jar more
something
than
to talk about.
C-3PO. That's kind of crazy.
I like them both. But I gotta say, one's a
But
little more
Jar Jar's
evil.
just sitting above C-3PO in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and then they go into like this dogfighting chase. They start flying around, and then what is the ship that Grievous flies in the other.
Ooh, shoot.
That's a big old trivia right there.
Oh man, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head.
All right, leave it in the
But
comments.
yeah, leave it in the comments if you know. Maybe I'll have to do a video on it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though. I like it. It's pretty classic
It
looking ship.
sounds cool too. It kind of sounds like a muscle car a little bit. It's kind of got like
Yeah,
the yeah to it. I don't know.
it does for sure.
Yeah,
That's what's so cool about the Star Wars universe. It has so much like like diversity in the sounds of
the
each
sound
ship.
design's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
very very cool. But yeah, the he so yeah, Grievous says something too, which I was interested in. He's like, get ready to jump to our secret base in Sector 4. Like, what's
yeah,
that,
yeah.
dude?
It's like a secret rendezvous. That's where
Yeah.
Count Dooku is waiting for them.
Yep. And
Yeah,
they hit the hyperdrive thinking it's working, and nope.
it's been hot wired.
Yeah. What a catastrophe that would be, having a hyperdrive malfunction. Like, that's such a powerful part of a ship. Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't
and
actually
that's
know.
what's the what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't actually know how like it works. Does it talk about how hyperdrive works?
Hyperdrives basically launch the speed, launch the vessel into hyperspace. Like it speeds it up and throws it into that dimension. Is
It's
like
like a
its whole
different
point.
dimension.
Yeah,
Is it a
hyperspace
wormhole?
exists in a different dimension than like real space.
Right.
Is the best way I would put it. And you know, you can travel quicker around the galaxy because of it. But it still is things can still be affected in that
Right.
dimension. Like
Like you can't go through
gravitational,
things.
yeah, like black holes can affect it. Large
Oh, really?
masses like planets can affect hyperspace lanes and things like that. So it's like almost like the upside down a little bit
Hmm.
to like things exist within hyperspace. Uh, so yeah, you have to be really careful with like how you navigate. And places like the unknown regions where like Admiral Thrawn is from, his race, the
Oh,
Chiss, their ascendancy lives within what they call the chaos, which is the unknown regions. And the chaos uh, basically has unstable hyperspace lanes. Like they're not able to navigate hyperspace the same way that the Republic is, the
uh-huh.
same way that you are in normal Star Wars, because there's a lot of supernovas that basically erupted and threw objects everywhere, and like it's every lane is unstable, so you'll like crash into things if you're not careful.
Oh, shoot.
And this is definitely a side note and not a part of it, but just a little hyperspace lesson. They use what they call skywalkers in the Chiss
Really?
Ascendancy. Like in their military, they use them outside of the Chiss Ascendancy to travel through the chaos. And they're force sensitive Chiss. And they're the only like force sensitive Chiss are like young girls. Like, and they get to a certain point where their force sensitivity like goes away. So it's
Really?
only between a certain age range that they have force sensitivity, and so they use these girls to like navigate on their warships, and they're called
Weird.
Skywalkers and everything. Yeah, it's really
That
cool.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
so cool. I love learning
yeah.
about like that
That's
stuff. And
that's these books right here that you learn about them.
oh,
The Thrawn Ascendancy novels. My one of my absolute favorite trilogies in Star Wars.
yeah.
I love it. Timothy Zahn's great.
I've heard a lot about Admiral Thrawn, like just how cool like people or how much people like him in a
He's
way.
one of the best characters.
Really? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So
What
cool.
has he popped up in any show or anything?
He's shown up in Rebels, and he's shown up in Ahsoka. The
Oh, cool.
Ahsoka appearance has been a little controversial. They don't really think he was portrayed appropriately.
Oh,
In Rebels, I think he's better. And but I mean the best Thrawn you're gonna get is in his like books, and that's
right,
because Timothy Zahn created him. Like that author knows him and has
right.
made three total trilogies of him. So like you have the
Hmm.
original one from like the 90s, then he made another one of Thrawn during his ascendancy years in the unknown regions, and then he made another trilogy of him in current canon during the reign of the Empire and stuff. So it's
Right.
he
That is pretty
knows
cool.
Thrawn, and he gets consulted by Dave Filoni and stuff, but I don't think he's quite been written correctly still in live action.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's sometimes hard doing adaptations, but I mean, you still got the books to go back to, I guess. So they're definitely
Yeah, totally,
um
totally, man.
the. Well, yeah. So I guess like the last thing in the episode is the hyperdrive malfunction. Dude,
Yeah,
thing just runs straight into a moon, which
yeah,
that's also like a size comparison thing. The moon's gigantic compared to the ship, of course, and
yeah,
I just like seeing that because like it's so big compared to like the Venators, and then it goes just crashes into the moon. Like
yeah.
what a cool
Straight
sight!
into the moon. Yeah, that
Straight to
hyperdrive
the moon.
tangent was kind of long.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little long, but it's worth it. I like going on these tangents. So that's
yeah.
what I'm here
So I
for.
mean,
So,
I guess happily ever after they destroyed the Malevolence.
mhm. Oh,
What did you
Grievous.
think of this story arc as a whole?
Yeah, real quick, I'll say Grievous just like hanging up on Count Dooku and then
Oh
zipping off.
yeah,
Classic.
yep,
But yeah, this arc I gotta say it was pretty dang good. I liked it. The Malevolence earned its name and lasted. Got plenty of good B1 scenes of droids and action scenes. Like you had all of it. Like the flying, the monsters, like the Nebra. Is it the Nebra?
Niebuhr Manta, yeah,
Nebra Manta. Yeah, those things awesome. You got dogfighting. Then you got inside, like exploring the gigantic ship, the
yeah,
trams, like just to get around. It's so crazy.
dude,
But
it's
yeah, I
nuts.
gotta say, I enjoyed it
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
it's one of my favorite story arcs. Because I like starfighters, I like big warships and everything like that, and obviously, if you look at my channel, you know that because that's most of the stuff I cover.
Yeah,
um, yeah, I think it's cool because you learn a lot about Anakin as a leader and how like Ahsoka helps to anchor him
for
in
sure.
his you know in kind of the way that he needs to be because he is kind of a hothead. And so like it goes back to like Yoda giving Ahsoka to him as a Padawan and
Hmm.
like knowing that she's going to be good for him in the long run. So that's really cool. And then learning about Plo Koon, he's awesome.
Oh yeah,
He's
dude.
just yeah, great character. So just a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, you even got Obi-Wan showing up, and
Yeah,
it's a good story arc.
honestly, have it all. Yeah, and cool clones to see. Like
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's kind of like the first like full kind of arc that I've seen
yeah,
it. So I guess we only go from here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Totally, dude. Um, I guess we can just let everybody know what the next episodes will be. 'Cause I don't really have much more to say on this story arc. The Malevolence is kind of just a cool story. It introduces an awesome super weapon,
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, next podcast we'll be discussing the rookie episode, which is 105. So that's season 1, episode 5. Downfall of a Droid, episode 106, which is episode 6 of season 1, and Duel of the Droids, which is season 1, episode 7. So I hope everybody watches those in preparation for that. Rookie is a pretty good
Pretty good.
episode. Yeah, you'll like that one a lot. I like
Nice.
the droid ones are good too. But man, that rookie episode, yeah.
Okay.
That'll be
Okay.
exciting. That'll be exciting.
I'm
So,
excited for that. It's cool that the episodes are now going in like order, you know, because we are
yeah.
doing a chronological. So
I'd say season 1's pretty good at that and then other seasons kind of jump around again.
yeah,
So, yeah.
it's fine.
As I prep these ahead of time, I find
Right.
that yeah.
Cool,
So,
dude.
yeah, any other final thoughts?
No, I got asked a lot of questions, got a lot of information, and I now like am excited to deep dive and probe your thoughts on more of the Admiral Thrawn. What's
Oh
his
yeah, dude.
species? You said
The Chiss.
the Chiss. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I like that. So I'll
Yeah,
have
dude.
to try and ask you about more of this the unknown regions. Like that's cool.
Oh, dude, it's great. Yeah, maybe that can be a bonus episode too, where we talk about the ascendancy and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
just like random, like yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
I'm
cool.
rereading the books right now too, so
Oh,
I just
perfect.
love them. They're so good.
Nice.
But yeah, I guess for now, everybody, thank you for watching. Leave a like, a comment. Make sure to share this around. Have fun with it because we're having fun watching the Clone Wars. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next time, and may the force be with you all.